Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the opening of Studio 15 with the presentation of on intimacy. I would like to introduce myself briefly. My name is León Krempel, and I am the director of Kunsthalle Darmstadt, a museum without a collection that has been organizing exhibitions, art exhibitions, since 1957. For everybody who never went to Darmstadt, I have here a model of Kunsthalle Darmstadt. When I started my work in 2014, digitization was overdue. There were only 2 computers and a self-created website without subpages. In the meantime, we talk about the digital Kunsthalle and see it as more than just a supplement to the physical Kunsthalle. With Studio 15, the Kunsthalle Darmstadt's web presence will be strengthened by a format that is exclusively accessible online. Once a day, the digital art gallery may stand on its own 2 feet. I'm very pleased that, thanks to the support of the German Federal Cultural Foundation, we were able to develop a template for the online presentation that is different from any other you may be familiar with. I have tried to articulate the specifics of Studio 15 as follows. I'm quoting from the website. Studio 15 explores the nature of the image in a series of quarterly presentations, each of which brings together a maximum of 15 exhibits. By including short videos and soundtracks, the concept of the image is deliberately kept open to time-based media. At the same time, a text, which can itself be poetic, brings language into play. As you may have noticed, I have avoided the term exhibition. I was disappointed to see how the 3D exhibitions that became popular during the pandemic tried to simulate the feeling of visiting an exhibition. I was reminded of how successful A.B. Warburg was in visualizing the afterlife of antiquity by identifying recurring themes, collecting images from different periods and arranging them on panels. However, I found that it was difficult to see 3 or even more images at once. This gave me the idea of having only 2 images appear on the computer screen at a time. I'm very grateful to everyone who was involved in the development of Studio 15 and the first exhibitions, presentations. My thanks go to Thomas Mayfried, our graphic designer, and Mick Prater, the programmer, to Sabine Maier and Florian Fehlbier, who both worked on the project from the side of Kunsthalle Darmstadt. My special thanks go to Anastasiia, Belousova and Prashant Chavan, as well as George Frederik, the curators of the first 2 exhibitions presentations. I thank the 3 of you for your patience, your enthusiasm, and your courage to embark on the project. Before I give the digital floor to Anastasiia Belousova and Prashant Chavan, I would like to explain that we we wanted to stream online, but now we record this opening on my computer. So turn off the video button if you do not want to appear in the stream, please. Again, welcome, and let's welcome together Anastasiia and Prashant. They have done a wonderful job. I can't think of any other presentation than theirs that shows how open Studio 15 is to experimentation and variation and how appropriate it is to focus on a particular theme. I thank you very, very much. Thank you also to all the artists invited by Anastasiia and Prashant to contribute to On Intimacy. So I would like to personally thank Laura, Fernández, Antolín, Aayush, Bhaskar, Pavel, Chernyak, Frederik, Franke, Valentina, Rana, Kelleci, Stefan, Maier, Stuti, Mohapatra, Felix, Plachtzik, Plaza, Sitha, Reis, Ana Paula dos Santos, Zoe Saré, Aniket Shah, Karen van Veld, Carla Volmers. Anastasiia and Prashant also contributed works to On Intimacy, which, as you will see, make a charming pair. We thank you for your attention. I now turn the floor over to Anastasiia and Prashant.
Thank you so much, León, for the nice presentation of us and a nice introduction. And hello, everybody. Very nice to see quite a lot of people. Also, Prashant is hello. One small question. Don't we want to share a small presentation, or I didn't understand something?
Yeah. So I will start my screen and then Anastasiia will start.
Nice.
Text. Yeah. So, On Intimacy, curated by myself and Anastasiia for Studio 15. And Anastasiia, do you want to take our audience through the curatorial note that we shared with them and some of the ideas that we had started with?
Yeah, for sure. So I would like to read curator notes which shape our online project. So I guess artists know about this, but nice to tell it to our audience in YouTube. So I will read the text. Reflecting on the last 2 years of pandemic, the human subject has been through various bodily explorations, exposing it to various spatial and psychological tendencies. We have probably all become aware of ourselves, our bodies, our environments, our intimacy. Where does our intimacy end? And what does the boundary between the public and the intimate look like? A group exhibition based on the principle of Mnemosyne Atlas by Abhivabam reveals an intimate dialogue between multiple artists. The exhibition examines intimacy in the context of everyday digital life, secrets, surveillance, and perversions of the human body. Mnemosyne Atlas by Abhivabam is a project that does not consider art history as a linear entity, but group multiple artworks at the same time. It traces recurring visual themes and patterns across the time. The digital curation project adopts a similar approach by bringing 15 artworks together and then coupling them on the website. A pleasant light on your body, a sense of safety and oneness with yourself, dreamily wandering souls. The pleasant page of your diary, preserve your diaries. The smell of a fairy tale, a birthday party, dreams of an inseparable friendship with an angel, translucently pink water. What kind of person do you imagine yourself to be if you don't have a mirror? Are you an avatar or an electroman? Is there a difference for you between intimate and public? Is your body effortless? How do you bring the subject together and create an intimate dialogue? We want to consider intimacy in the context of the digitalization of everyday life as overhearing someone's secrets and making digital eye contact. Mm-hmm. As León told, it's first online exhibition of Kunsthalle Darmstadt, and it was framed by Studio 15. So Prashant, could you explain us how we start our to shape our project.
Yeah, thanks, Anastasiia. So there was an idea that two artworks shall be placed next to each other, and the audience has a choice that they can curate their own exhibitions. So you choose an image from the left and from a right, and then you create your own exhibition online. And for this, we came up with the idea that it should be 15 artworks. So there could be, let's say, about more than 200 possibilities of pairing. So that's why we came up with this odd number also. And then to sort of get a hand through the works, what we did was we created a glossary of words that related close to the topic of intimacy. So there were many words that came across our minds, such as family, memory, self, delusion, skin, emotions, scars, body, organs. And then when we invited this artist, we sort of graphed these artworks into respective glossary of words. So we were working on Miro continuously and sort of matching an aesthetic palette, also what work blends with others. So we had all these things through the course of 3 or 4 months. And somehow we came up with a selection of 15 artworks, and these artworks were then uploaded on the website. So when you visit the website now, where we will go soon, you could see this format where you have 2 panels, left and right, and there are these 15 artworks from different artists, and you get the choice to make your own exhibition possibility. So now I will take you to the website, and we can give a guided tour from the website. So now we are on the Kunsthalle Darmstadt website, and when you go on the website, there are different tabs, and you have to go in the program, and then there are different tabs: exhibition, events, studio west, studio east. So these are all the physical spaces that are present in the gallery, and then we come across Studio 15, and this is the first edition of this Studio 15, and then we come to this web page. So here in the page you see the 15 artworks on the left panel and 15 artworks on the right panel. Below you can find the exhibition text that we had sent out to the artists, and then the name of the participating artist, and also special thanks to all the other people who kind of supported these artworks in different ways. So I guess we can now give like a small overview of the projects that we have, Anastasiia.
Yes.
So
maybe we could mention, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. Maybe we could mention about small technical issues which we have, or maybe we can do it before.
Yeah, when this situation occurs, we can speak about it.
Okay.
So for now, we just like follow like a method where I'm starting from number 1 and Anastasiia is starting from number 15, and we will briefly talk about what are the kind of artworks we have. So what you see now on the left is a work from Laura Fernández Antolín.
I think she's here.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that she's here.
Zoom meeting. Okay, wow, nice.
Yeah.
And the work is called a Side Blocker Landscape des Friend Pillows, and it's a digital fabric print, polyester satin, recycled cotton, dry lavender beads. It's a mask, and what we see is a photograph of a person wearing this. And this work kind of touched us because it's like directly dealing with the physicality of the body and the softness of this material kind of blocking your vision. Yeah.
I wanted also to say a small remark because we didn't tell about plan. So after tour, we want to speak with artists who attend the meeting. So yeah, maybe we go through this and after we have like open discussion about the work.
Also,
so
feel free to interrupt us anyway.
Yeah.
Ask something if you have like something to add.
Yeah, let's make it more relaxed.
Yeah.
So on the did you finish?
Yeah.
Okay. On the right side, we can see the work of Prashant Chavan. Yeah, and the title is Intimate Corner of the Bedroom with a Mushroom. The work is generated by AI and made pretty recently, especially for this exhibition. And yeah, so you can see the soft corner. This is a very strange detail, which is a mushroom, because Prashant has kind of a passion to this regarding his last works. And so it's something natural in the artificial constellation, in the artificial corner. And he wants to open up the topic of the intimacy from the space perspective.
Thanks. Then we come across the second combination.
Leaving our intimate spaces behind, wandering in distant and broad city, at times one finds accordant conditions triggering our consciousness towards something intimate. Seldom the public bears the private, strangely in its crumbling state.
So we won't be playing the whole videos because some videos also extend the time and then it would be a big session for all of us. But we would just briefly speak about this work, which is made by Stuti, Aayush, and Pavel. Its title is Thresholds of Intimacy. It's a digital montage. And I would read what the artists talk about this. They say that the digital montage is an experiment that pulsates around the thresholds of intimacy in our surroundings by consciously mixing the conditions that both favor as well as inhibit them. And in many ways, this project is also a lot about interiority, exteriority in the urban condition. Yeah.
Thank you. So on the right side, you can see my work by Anastasiia Belousova, and it's called Intimate Corner with a Diary. So we kind of did it on a purpose with Prashant. We wanted to play with this idea of diptych. And by this work, I wanted to explore a topic of the secrets buried in the ground and find that intimate line there. So, and also the beautiness of this exhibition, that you actually can have a dialogue between one work and another work. So here you can follow the intimate idea of the space if you see the work on the right, like the full length. So yeah.
And also you can make many accidental observations, like for instance, right now you see the materiality of this building kind of having a dialogue with the stones that are on the right side. So there are many things that can open up by these randomized pairing of different artworks.
And one, sorry, can you go back for 1 second? So we mentioned before that we have a small technical issue. So this, I think the border on the left and on the right side of the video, they're gonna be gone, right? As I know, so it would be solved very soon. So since the exhibition is gonna launch forever because it's it doesn't have the limit time, so we will solve it quite soon. Yeah. So please.
So yeah, on the left, what you see is a photograph from Felix from the Fan Collective, and it's titled as Goodnight Stool. The material is cushion textile. It was produced in 2020 during the time of pandemic. And what we found interesting about this work in relation to our concept was that how it kind of has a very caricaturish or a comical approach towards things that people come across in everyday life, such as a stool, and somehow also dealing with this materiality, kind of softening the object. And then there were also many interesting other photographs where the people were interacting with it. So we found that somehow this solid looking object gets this humanistic aspect of kind of bulging and producing the soft tensions.
I also think that Felix joined our meeting. So hello, Felix. And yes, so on the right side, we can see the work by Karen Panfeld. Unfortunately, she couldn't join because she's traveling. Yes, so she's actually the last invited artist. So we, yeah, it was very great to know her and her work. The title is a lot of slashes. Yeah, you can see it on the right side. There's a name. Hey, go back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another small issue, the last one. I promise that we cannot enlarge the picture yet. So we have to able to read it. So maybe Prashant, you can scroll it a bit. Is it possible on your computer? Exactly. So it's a very nice work. She's working with the text and graphic and doing very transparency narrative and very intimate. Yeah, I will not read it, but you really please to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. The next one is this is also something that we are trying to resolve at the moment, where you can see both the things together. Somehow it works on some different browsers. Sometimes it's not working. So we are still not able to figure out what's the core issue of it. But ideally you can like watch two videos also playing simultaneously.
And also sound, if the work is sound work.
Yeah. So what you see here on the left is a work from Aniket Shah. It's titled Juggling in a Daydream. And it's also made specifically for the exhibition. And what you see here is a lot of these everyday food objects that are kind of playing with each other, where you also hear certain sounds of these domestic cooking spaces, of the grinder, of the mixer, kind of literally blending with the objects. Yeah.
Very nice. And on the right side, you can see the audio work of Carla Olmers. This piece, which is called Unconditional Love is Hegemonic. It's a part of the EP, which is called Deep Care. And yeah, maybe somebody knows her personally, because I think she's from Frankfurt. And yeah, in this work, she's dealing with the question of collectivity, connections, and society. And the poem itself deals with the asymmetric distribution of care and romantic relations.
Yeah. So,
This is a work by Rana Kelleci. I think she's also here. Hello. She's a writer and artist based in Istanbul in Turkey, and she contributed a very beautiful video for the exhibition. And as I remember, it was kind of coincidence because she wanted to do some piece about intimacy, and we invite her. So it was great pleasure to have this match. And the video, you can see the hand-drawn emojis, and they are on the sea surface expressing the negative emotions, sadness, pain, and frustrations. And we could say that the work expressing the flip side of techno-positivism, and yeah, very, very beautiful. And Prashant?
yeah. And what you see on the left side is a work from an illustrator from Frankfurt, Sitha, and it's titled as "This Is How I Die." It's a digital illustration, and what the artist talks about this work is that when I'm old and fat and happy, I want to die pleasuring while eating ice cream and transcend to ice cream body heaven. And it was also interesting to look at different kind of work which addresses some of the aspects of body positivity, looking at different genders, looking at different age, kind of bring all of these factors with respect to our title on intimacy. So what you see on the left is a video work from Frederik Franke. It's titled as Self-Care. It was made in 2021. And it's an interesting story of two inmates who have this really strange conversation. There is no dialogue, no speech conversation, but they have different kind of exchange of gaze, exchange of movement, and it's also like Anastasiia is also part of this video. And also I think Frederik is also in the meeting with us today. Yeah.
And on the right side, you can see it's audio work by Plaza, and it's called Vibes Plaza. It was created in 2001, or in 2021, of course, during the pandemic. And there are a lot of people who are included in the collective. I can briefly tell these names. It's James King, Sandor Daila, William Felzer, Edi Rakovic, Thomas Rikuelle, Thomas van der Putten, and the cover was made by Ties Jager and Valentina Gal. And Vibes Plaza is a mixtape containing unreleased music made during Corona, expressing 3 individual growths of 6 artists. It's kind of musical painting, and the work showing the intimacy in the distance way, the connection through the music. We could maybe speak about the dialogue between works, because it's both of them like kind of about communication between people through the not speaking way, through the sound and sound, or basically like this, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good point to relate these two works, because the work from Plaza Collective is also about friendship, coming together, sort of having this sonic engagement. And what you see on the left from Frederik is also a conversation between 2 people, which is based not on any language, let's say, but on music or some sort of suspense.
Action. But we should watch the full movie, I guess. It's not so long. Yeah. It's 3 minutes, I guess. But
yeah.
Yes.
So what we have on the left is a video work from Stefan Maier. Stefan is an architect. He's based in Austria, and it's titled as The Things I Wear. And what he speaks of this through this video work is that our identity is fluid. Who I am and who I ought to be is always in a constant flux. And the motion captured performance accompanied with 3D scanned personal belongings, and it is also comprised of field of recordings that form an entity of complex associations. It's also interesting to see how these kind of personal belongings, these objects blend and softly become like one body. Anastasiia?
Can you just a bit maybe zoom in? Nice, thank you. So on the right side, that a work by Anna Paula, and her work Embare und Marappe. I hope it's correct. Embare and Marappe are names of two neighborhoods of Santos in Brazil, the city where Ana Paula grew up. For her, it was a very intense family intimacy, and she has never shown these photos publicly before. And yeah, but as a child, she always felt drawn back to the photos albums, as she wrote us. Very beautiful piece about memory and childhood and family connections, which can relate to a lot of, like, all of us, all human beings.
Also, Ana Paula is with us.
Hello.
Yeah.
I didn't notice, sorry.
Yeah.
Was focus.
And I think we come to the last work from our collection, which is from Zoe. It's titled as For Intimacy. There's no sound to the video. And it was also made specifically for this exhibition. And what Zoe writes about this video is creating many questions such as, what is intimacy? Apart from our social anchor romantic ideas, is it about being vulnerable, tenderness, trust, love, being able to be unfiltered, touched? Can intimacy be found in absurdity of our everyday life? As Zoe mentions, you can see there are these two hands interacting with each other and engaging in an everyday act of playing games, cutting nails. Yeah, sort of zooming into one action and removing the context behind our activities. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think it would be very nice to see all of the pieces, and especially in the big format. So please check it after our meeting.
Yeah.
Nice.
We were kind
And
of rushing into each work somehow, but I would say take your time, look at the videos.
Yeah, they have like limitation,
Yeah.
I think 7 minutes. I think our max. So maybe we could jump to the discussion and some open talk about the work. Do we have like a list who will start? Prashant?
Yeah. Some of our artist friends, they said that they would like to share some of their insights about their process. Maybe one of them could start. Maybe Stefan or Aayush, Stuti.
Hello, Stefan.
Hey, hi, nice to meet you. Greetings from Vienna, and congratulations for the great opening.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
to see you.
It's very nice to have you here.
Yeah.
So shall we like a little bit describe what was the idea behind? What would be the format? Or what do you think?
Yeah, it would be nice. Maybe we can at the same time open your work. Because it was quite fast. We can open on the website if you want to.
Sure.
Or if you want, you can open.
Do you want to share? Like maybe you can share. You can like.
I think we can see it on the. Shall we have it on the website probably, or?
On the website is better.
I mean, yeah. you already described it, I think, quite nicely, Prashant. Thank you. Yeah, when Anastasiia and Prashant reached out to me, I was really intrigued by these very subjective, very personal topic of intimacy, and I kind of interpreted or investigated also in a very personal and subjective manner. So I was kind of thinking about identity and my personal identity, and what could express, or what could those symbols be that express a sort of identity. And I gathered inanimate objects that surrounded me, objects that I have around with me for a very long time, and 3D scanned them and try to bring them in into a relationship. And what was interesting for me was to see that, or at least I interpreted it like that, that our identity is something fluid, something that is in a constant flux, that could be changing over time. And that was also very influencing what I wanted to examine with the piece, so that those personal belongings start to blend in each other. They're shifting in focus. They're in a constant rearrangement and in a constant juxtaposition to each other and creating different associations. So yeah, and yeah, that's basically the overall idea. So,
Thanks.
yeah.
Thank you. It's very beautiful. It's very tactfully. Is it correct to say something like that? It's very, you want to touch it somehow.
Yeah, very tangible.
Yeah, my personal feelings to this. Thank you. It's very.
Yeah, thank you.
You cannot stop to watch.
Thank you. And I think just to say, it's I think a very wonderful curatorial work, and I think it's very unique to see it like that. So I think it really works well to have like these two juxtaposed works and scroll through and bring them and rearrange them again. I just jumped in before and tried to rearrange both some of them. So I think it's really working nicely. So congratulations to you and thank you.
Thank you too. So many nice words. Yeah. Thanks.
Anyone else wants to comment? Maybe Rana, you want to speak something?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. Greetings from Istanbul.
Hello.
Yeah, so you're opening it? Okay. Okay.
Can you a bit zoom in, maybe? Just a bit.
Yeah, it could be. I think it's can be.
It's on the loop.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for the invite. Before talking about my work, I would like to thank you for this, for inviting me to this project. I really find it really relevant and necessary to think about, you know, how we engage with internet. Because like lately we are finding out that what we expect from internet is not information or not entertainment only, but we are looking for a meaningful engagement with the digital realm. And I really like this randomized dialogue that you have created in this project. So thank you for that. So the work that I'm participating with is called Guest, and so I'm approaching to the intimacy subject from the angle of how we express and communicate our emotions. And I think what creates intimacy between people, what binds people together is this sharing of negative emotions, sharing of hard experiences in life, the downsides of life, and like finding acceptance in each other. That's what, for me, that's what creates intimacy. So I turned to WhatsApp, where we communicate our feelings and stories mostly from, and I find the 20 emojis that are that are supposed to express the negative emotions like pain or frustration, like crying, and I drew them and coated them in a plastic layer, and I left them to float on the sea surface. So when I was thinking about intimacy, when Anastasiia and Prashant first proposed this idea to me, I was reading the book The Transparency Society by Byung-Chul Han, and there was a criticism that he wrote about our societies, and it was saying something like, we lost our ability and capacity to give form to our pain. And I find it very relevant because, you know, we're not encouraged to express the negative things that we experience in life on the social media, on the internet. We're not encouraged to do that. So I thought, how can I give form to these negative feelings? And I went with these emojis. Yeah, I can summarize it like that, and maybe I can tell a little bit about the title. It is called Guest, and it's taking the name from a poem by Rumi, and it is the poem basically advises the readers to accept all the good and bad experiences of life as if they were guests to your house. You know, welcome them, take care of them, and then they will go, sort of a feeling. So, so I wanted to, with this video, I wanted to recall a memory of a really light and hopeful day on the beach where, you know, all these negative emotions also come and go, like with the winds and the waves. So that was the emotion I had when I was doing this. So
Thank you so much for your nice explanation. It's very beautiful. And I wanted to ask you, do you have like a certain situation which is behind each emoji, or it's more symbolic for you?
It's more symbolic, actually. They don't have specific stories, but they're the only emojis that are supposed to express these negative things. I chose them from the huge emoji library, but no specific reason, only for negative connotations.
Nice.
What I like particularly about this work is you see these emojis and then you can hear these distant voices or some kind of sounds that are there in the background. That's super interesting, as if these emojis are talking.
Yeah, I kept the sounds on purpose actually, because it is the sounds that I shot the video in, and it was you know, these kids playing, the
the
sound
bridge.
of the waves. It felt really light, so I wanted to keep that feeling as well.
Great.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else would like to contribute?
Yeah, I can say something too.
Mhm.
Yes,
Hello.
please.
Frederik.
So first off, thanks for having me and thanks for this great opening. I really enjoy the principle of your curation as well, and I'm gonna play around with it. And I can summarize it very quickly. Maybe I don't want to spoiler. It's a very short linear fiction narrative movie about a very all-day life situation, kind of stylized. And I wanted to isolate the situations. I mean, you've seen the beginning. It's like about taking a bath and cooking food, but I try to keep the persons behind it in the background. We don't know anything about their future or their past. We don't really identify with them. I wanted to make something where I just like identify with a personal situation, but it's something like quite sensory and quite private for me, like being in the bathroom making food. But still, I don't want to spoiler it, so maybe I don't really want to talk about the content. You can just watch it and see it.
So we shouldn't press play now.
You can watch it now if that's if there's enough time for it. Don't know.
Do we have time?
Yes.
Okay.
What?
So now that you've seen it, I think that the main thing is like intruding another one's privacy. That doesn't really match. And what I wrote it with a friend, thought was like, it's really like the person taking a bath is like owning that bit of water surrounding her, and the friend coming in with a pasta is like really, really intruding it, and like then the climax of it is some pasta dropping into the water.
Thank you.
Thanks, Frederik.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the really nice presentation. And I just thought I could really continue from what just Frederik said about intruding into someone's intimacy. And I think it's a little bit closer to even what our title is about, intimate thresholds. So where does it begin and where does it end? And we sort of try to look at the relationship of intimacy in different contexts with public and private. So yeah, it's like if somebody's intruding your intimacy, then is it still intimate or is it more public? And just questions like those. And yeah, so yeah, sure. Okay.
Leaving our intimate spaces behind, wandering in distant and broad city, at times one finds accordant conditions triggering our consciousness towards something intimate. Seldom the public bears the private. Strangely, in its crumbling state, the wall bears the marks of once an intimate space, of private lives it witnessed. Flanneur's approach towards the uncanny evokes the memory of its own personal space, strangely but slowly, viscous, formed of mental image. These personal virtual spaces find new affordances on the wall. Physical meets the virtual. Thresholds of physical and virtual intimacy collapse. They react, they question private and public, or is it public and private? One wonders and carries on. So is the Flaneur and its search.
Thank you. Yeah. Just like you see this very beautiful wall, although it's in a public setting, but then you can sort of see these little traces, and you can sort of visualize like, oh, maybe it was someone's bedroom, and then that's why we put like this physical residual of an intimate space and a digital residual of an intimate space, and kind of bring it together and question that how do these thresholds react in a public setting? Yeah.
Thank you, Stuti.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pavel and Aayush are not with us, but they were three of them, and they made this beautiful video.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Hello. I
Hi.
would like to, hi.
Hello.
Hi. So yeah, about intimacy, like I would like to say that, yeah, in a way, like it's a kind of an act put together, but it's also specifically to the particular topic. So it goes really well together with this format. So yeah, thank you for putting two different amount of intimacy or the approach or how look at it together and narrating this exhibition, first of all. And the approach of my clip was about the everyday activity, basically, that during the pandemic, like how it becomes repetitive in nature, and also the food, how it interacts with the basic necessities like cooking or food, and how people are accustomed to these things every day, and without getting annoyed, like some sounds or some smells, or it somehow interact with each other, and in a way try to represent that sort of a juggling, and how everybody becomes normalized during the time of pandemic, yeah, especially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shall I play your video?
Yes, you can.
What is the sound?
Sound of the blender.
Thank you. Thank you, Aniket. I think we still have like 3-5 minutes if somebody wants to
Anyone else
say
wants to
briefly.
say? Nora, you want to say something?
Hi. Yeah, I can say something. Thank you for the invitation first. I'm
Hello.
really happy that this photo went somewhere because it's a photo that I made for archiving and showing the work during my graduation. As it was Corona, I needed to take photos of everything I was doing to show it. And yeah, it's really cool that then it takes a bigger shape part of this, and that it kind of like, yeah, through a really small gesture, like goes on something bigger. I can say that this piece is part of a set of kind of like 6 or 7 pillows that I made to accommodate the body. And the intention of these pillows was to enhance different senses for a broader awareness within a configuration of other people. So yeah, how to be together with others in different ways of what it is like normalized, as in like, I mean, now this is a Zoom meeting, which is really weird as well, but like we usually are accustomed of like meeting someone, look at each other and talk somehow as a standard setting of conversation. And then I made these pillows to execute movement together from very diverse starting points. And these are some. I also made gloves or like huggies and stuff like that. And yeah, I made them kind of like on the months previous to Corona. And I started working on movement sessions with them. And then, yeah, I kind of had to stop working in big groups because of COVID, but I've managed to make some sessions later on with the small groups, like they're prepared to work between 5-6 people together. And then out of the sessions, we have 4 hand drawings, automatic writings. And yeah, it's always very nice to like, and I understand them more as tools, not so much of a final artwork. So yeah, it's really cool how like here also that plays a different role, like here more as a final thing, but then I use them as process tools and to continue developing like research and conversation and narrations together with very different people, because I always use them or propose them in very different contexts. So yeah, it's something that is also still alive till today.
Thank you.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much. Does it still exist? Did you say the mask?
Yeah, I have them, and I'm still using them. Yeah, I have 4 of
Yeah,
them.
you have 4. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's very interesting work. When we had asked Laura about this work, Laura was saying that should I ship it to you guys or what is the process? And we just said, no, we want this one photograph from you, which kind of conveys this idea. I personally also like this work because cotton as a material is so essential to our own bodies. Like we sleep on bedsheet mattresses, we spend like 5 to 8 hours every day with this material. And I think it's something really close with our skin, I would say.
Yeah, when I received the invitation, because like their piece is so sensorial, I thought that it was like to be used somehow. But then when I understood it's like an online setting, then everything came together. But yeah, like the piece itself, it's really like sensorial. And I try to work with the most sustainable sources as possible. As in like the outer textile, it was a gift from a friend who was doing these tryouts of printing CGI nature landscapes into 2D again, and I just received them as a gift. And then the shape, it's done to shape the bones of the face. So like the padding, it's different depending on where our bones are in the head. And then yeah, like the inside is some recycled cotton of for kids plushies. And then I also was drawing lavender at the time. So yeah, I wanted to have like it's just so sensorial. Like everything I make, it's about the touch and the sense of it. But yeah, I guess like it translates nicely here in the visual.
It's also very nice how right now two works match together, because on the right side from the work from Pavel, it's also kind of about childhood. It's about childhood, and your work is also a bit sci-fi-ish. It can be also interpreted like some role games. So it's nice that the dialogue can go in a very different perspectives between two works in this exhibition. So thank you so much that you participate.
I find interesting from this combination. I mean, I don't know much about the other person's work yet because I haven't had the time to look into it, but I love that it's like this house icon drawing. And part of the thesis of this project, I had a chapter on home, and it was also this same diagram. Or the project itself all had to be developed at home because of COVID, and it was not because of COVID, but previous to that, I had like big questionings about what home means and could mean. So yeah, I found all the conversations very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
León, do we still have time, or should we slowly
so if
come to closing?
So, there's no necessity to stop now. So if someone wants to comment on his her work or say something, please feel free to.
And Paula wants to add something.
Hi, you can hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi. Maybe we can see my image bigger.
Yes.
First, thank you so much to have me here. And thank you for the work of everybody. It's very beautiful. I am happy to see it. And yeah, my work is not a film, but maybe a film in my head about intimacy and about memories of my childhood. And when I thought about intimacy, I thought about the moments that I have in Brazil in my childhood. And these pictures that you see are the first two was in the building where I live in Brazil. And I remember this moment with my father on the beach, because I grew up in Santos, in this neighborhood. The name is the Embaré, is the name of the area where I lived. And in that moment of the past, I felt me very safe. For me, it was a very safe place in the moment of intimacy. And I remember when I was a child, this moment in my home was very, very safe for me inside, because outside was sometimes very difficult because a lot of social problems in Brazil, cause racism too. And we had this safe place in our home. And this is the first time that I show in public these photographs of my family, because through the COVID time, my brother sent me physical photographs. And I remembered how I was happy, how I was safe. And was a moment that I didn't know about the future because of this COVID. And I began to remember these moments, the safe place, and to do a confrontation with my past too. Because when I was a child, I don't know, I was maybe a shy child, and I felt me not so like a beautiful child. Was a conflict because I was in this way between childhood and the teenager to the teenager. And this, what you see like a house, is because this house, this building, so we don't live more there in this place, and this place was sold. And I know that these moments don't come more back. And the most adults of my family died, my parents too, my grandmother too. And that's like a building of memories of safety, freedom, and intimacy. Yeah, it was my thoughts about it. Yeah.
Thank you. That's very beautiful that you said it's a building of memories.
Okay. Yeah, very intimate story.
Yeah, thanks for sharing such a personal insight of your life.
Thank you.
Anyone else would like to contribute or talk?
No one else? So then can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm deeply impressed. So I'm fascinated by so it seems working, and of course it's a learning process, and it can't be perfect, and it's not the intention. This exhibition or this presentation will last as long as the website of Kunsthalle Darmstadt exists. I'm impressed also by the fact that so many different media and so many different stories work together. You can combine it, artificial intelligence, classical movie, a soundtrack, painting, sculpture. It works together just on a screen, and I think this is really amazing. So thanks to Anastasiia, thanks to Prashant, thanks to all the artists for this wonderful work. It's the best start I can imagine. And I'm happy to announce the next presentation for February or March. We will see George Frederik Takis. He is also here. Hello, George. And his exhibition will focus on another theme. He wrote a manifesto, a gap art manifesto. So his presentation is about emptiness in a positive sense. Thank you again, and hope to see you again. I copied your mail addresses in a Word document, and I will invite you to our next presentations. I hope you are okay with this. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.